Hey Wilson, how come you always bringing all these folks in here in my living room without asking me first, man? You are company. You can't be inviting company if you're company. But since you guys are here, welcome. Welcome to New Stuff TV, the untechnical tech channel. I'm your host, Antoine Big Screen Richardson, because today that's what we're gonna be talking about. Big old screens. But mainly we're gonna be talking about my experience with the Hisense C1 4K laser projector. Look up there, Wilson. You see that joint right there? That little bitty box, man. It's like a little cube. Got it all hooked up. But before we get into that, I want to tell you about today's video sponsor, and that's Akia screens. Man, check this out, dude. All right. This is what I'm normally watching, right? When me and the wife are in here and we're just watching regular content, we're watching this big old TV right here. But sometimes when you want to do cinema, right? When you want to do like a movie and you need something to be on the big screen, you do this right here. You just drop this Akia screens 105-inch motorized tab tension screen down in front of that. Now what is called a little screen. You just turn that off, and then I'm gonna turn on the Hisense projector because we gotta get started talking about this. But let me tell you about the screen, man. I really like it. It's got this matte white material, and it's called Cine White P. That's the front projection material. I love this material because once I turn out the lights just a little bit, I got on a lot of ambient lights. Check this out. We got on these 4 can lights, got on the ceiling fan light, got a little bit of ambient light coming through this window right here. We got light coming through the stairwell, and now I'm gonna dim the lights, but we still have a lot of ambient light coming through, right? But you can see that this is still projecting a really great image. I don't have the projector lined up on the screen right now because I'm going to show you something in a moment. But you can see even with all this ambient light on this matte white screen, we still have a pretty decent and watchable image here. But once you turn out those lights, man, it's going to just reproduce those colors perfectly. And you're going to have a nice, rich, contrasty, beautiful picture coming out of here. But what I also want to talk about is the viewing angles. It's a massive screen. So if you're watching sports or something or a big movie with the family, you can see that it has great viewing angles. And nobody is going to need to move to the center to actually get a good image and watch things the way they're supposed to be seen on the big screen. So anybody can sit anywhere. You can have a big sectional, have the guy off to the side, 10 meters out eating tacos if he wants to, and he doesn't have to move close. But another thing I wanted to tell you was tab tension, baby. It's tab tension because you can actually use multiple types of projectors with this. Today I'm using kind of a short throw, but you can use a short throw, a long throw, and even ultra short throw with this projector screen because it is tab tension, which keeps the screen nice and taut and it doesn't move while you're watching it. And another cool thing is you got 3 different ways to control it. You got your IR remote, which functions as a regular IR remote from your seating position, or you can use the wall box controller that it comes with. You just plug this cable directly into the housing, plug the cable into the wall box controller, which then mounts onto the wall, and you can control it that way. And you can also control it via 12-volt trigger. So when you turn on your projector or device, the screen will automatically come down and go up whether the device is on or off. That is super clutch. But since we're standing here, you can see that my screen is not necessarily lined up where it's supposed to be. And that's the last cool feature I wanted to tell you about. So you can actually adjust this thing to drop down to your desired position every single time. My screen is coming down a little bit too low. So what I need to do is from the wall box controller, I just pull the back of it off. There's a little button back here. You just press that button. Let me get it to the desired position first. So from the wall box controller, you get it to your desired position. I'm just gonna bring it down just a little bit. You see that, Wilson? Boom, right there. That's where I want it every time. I press this button back here and hold it. Then I press the down button, hold that, and then I press the down button on the remote, and it is programmed. Dude, Wilson, you gotta see this. Check this out. So now, I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. Check it out, man. This is gonna be cool. All right, so it's gonna stop right about here. That's where I programmed it, right? So now, I can actually unplug the wall box controller completely. Now I can use the IR remote, boom, and it's gonna stop right where I programmed it every single time. What you think about that, man?
That's pretty cool.
That's clutch, man. Hey, Akia screens, man. I like this one. Now let's get back to this Hisense C1 projector. All right, first of all, we got to talk about the setup because my screen is all cattywomp. Dude, look at this, Wilson. It is a hot, bright mess, okay? So what should we do first? You want to turn these lights down a little bit?
Yeah, I think we should.
All right. Hey, Google, turn off the media room lights. All right, so as the lights go down, you can see here that we're gonna leave this overhead dome light on so we can just have a little bit of light. But you can see here, the screen is just freaking everywhere, okay? It's not even fitted. So what I'm gonna do here, and this is set up for you guys. So once you get your C1, it's gonna probably look like a hot mess too. You drop your screen down to where you need it to be, and then you get to the gear up at the top left, if you can actually see it. And then you press that, and then you go into Projector and auto correction. Let's see if this thing can get it right. Let's see if the auto keystone works well. So you just wait, sends out those little QR codes. Did it. Look at this, Wilson.
That just looks really good.
Dude, this is like, is this artificial intelligence right here? I know AI is like a severely overused term. Was that AI? I don't know what that was, but I ain't got to do nothing else. I could just sit here and watch my content like that. But because I'm a pixel peeper and I'm kind of a video snob, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that it didn't quite get it like perfect, okay? I want it perfect. So if you're like me, you can do auto correction if you want to, and it's gonna be fine. But go into manual correction, and then you hit these little dots, right? And then I'm gonna just bring that top left corner in just a hair, and then down a hair, just to get everything in the screen, because you don't want no light bleed on your borders there, okay? Then I'm gonna go over to the right bottom, bring this one up. No, wait. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it down, and then I'll bring it in. See how it was all up in that black margin there? Bring that in. I'll bring it in a little bit extra so you can see. And then I'm gonna go up to the top right-hand corner, and then I'm gonna bring that one in just a little bit extra so you can see. Now I think I'm squared up. So you guys can see how quick that was to get this thing squared up. And now I'm ready to watch some content, but not yet. Dude, look at me. I recommend just like, I don't know, manipulating 2, maybe 3 settings before you start digging into your content. You have taken the extra step to get yourself a nice like lifestyle projector. If you're gonna be watching a projector, you need to be watching stuff in a cinema style, right? Movie quality, right, Wilson?
Yep.
You and I just talked about this. You said we were watching The Harder They Fall on the TV, and then you said, I see why you like watching projectors. So go ahead. You remember what you said?
Yeah, no, it's because like the projector just felt like it was more real of a movie than watching on the TV. The TV just felt like a TV show.
Yeah, it's just this softness that a projector brings. But it's not softness meaning it's not sharp. It just gives you this warm, comfortable feeling, especially when you got a good projector that does like film motion. And that's where we're getting into next. So Wilson, check this out. I'm gonna show these folks, oh, it just disappeared. I'm gonna show these folks where you go to change this picture, okay? So you go into picture mode, and then you go into filmmaker. You're gonna get a few of them, okay? You got filmmaker, and it kind of depends on what type of content you're on. Right here, you see filmmaker, sports, dynamic, cinema night, cinema day. Now, if you're watching something with HDR or Dolby Vision, it's gonna say Dolby Vision light or bright, Dolby Vision dark, and then custom. But in this case, because of the content, we're basically on the home screen. I'm going into filmmaker mode, and then that is that setting, right? But then we need to toggle down our motion a little bit, because every time something ships, man, they ship it with the motion smoothness on like high, to where everything just like, I don't know what's up with that. People don't move this way. And it doesn't look realistic or like aesthetically pleasing at all. So you go into here, and in the same thing, you go into picture, and then you got your filmmaker mode. I would leave everything else on auto or whatever, but then you go down to picture mode settings, click that, and then you can mess with all this stuff if you want to. Your laser luminance, your brightness, you can do whatever you want to. I suggest you really not mess with it at all. But then where you see down here where it says ultra smooth motion, it's capable of a lot of things, okay? I keep mine on film. You can do clear, standard, smooth, or off. Off is okay, smooth is ridiculous, standard is not as ridiculous, clear is ultra ridiculous, I think, and film. Those are 2 settings you really need to, just do before you start watching your content. But before you get into that, I want to talk to you about the UI. first of all, this is a very snappy UI. It's easy to move around, okay? But you can notice very quickly that it is not Google TV or Android TV. It is Vita. Is it Vita or Vita?
Vita?
Vita.
I would say Vita if I saw that.
Vidaa. Vita. But it's 2 A's, so it's not Vita, it's Vita. It's Hisense. You gotta let me know how you pronounce that. I'm gonna keep saying Vita. My vocals. I need to drink some of that tea. You know, loosen up my core. Vita. Anyways. All right. Now, this is the Vita software, okay? It's not Google TV or Android TV, but it is smooth and snappy. And you got like 90% of your content that you're gonna wanna watch here. So you got an app store, right? Let's just dig into that real quick. Vita. I was almost there. It's that falsetto. Vita. Forget it. I gotta get my tea, bro. I gotta get my tea. But you see, you got all kinds of apps here that you can get into. And, you know, a lot of these I don't use. You guys might use Plex and, you know, stuff like that. I don't use that stuff. I use the top basics. So let's go back to see what I've got. And then I'm going to show you why I ended up doing what I did next. So we've got Netflix, Peacock, Paramount, YouTube, Prime Video, Pluto, Apple TV, Disney Plus, Tubi, Crackle, NBA, and some other stuff, right? So you see the ones I use. The one that's missing here is Hulu. But I went ahead and got myself a Google TV dongle. You can plug in any dongle, Apple TV dongle, whatever you want. You can plug it into the back, the HDMI port. You get 2 back there. And then you can just use it. So what I've done is I plugged in my dongle in the back and I'm gonna hit the input button. So I'll hit the input button and you can see right there, Wilson, it says Hisense C1 Google TV. I hit that button and it goes over to Google TV and you can see that Google TV home screen. And it's just a typical Google TV home screen because that's what it is. It'll look very familiar if you have a Google TV, like a regular TV. So everything's just as familiar as it's going to be. But since we're talking about my experience with the actual Hisense projector, let's just go ahead and turn off the Google TV and go back into the Hisense Vita software. Do you like that tone? Vita. That was a good one. Come on, man.
No, it's not that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
That wasn't that bad.
Okay, so we'll go into Netflix because I want to talk to you about some stuff that I've actually watched. Recently, we've been watching the Janitor. I was just telling you about this show.
Oh, Average Joe?
Average Joe. That is such a good show. Average Joe, good show. Dude, I'm on one today. Raylan, you in my shot. Are you getting him?
Yeah, he's all up in there.
All up in my shot, man. But is the camera on me, though? Because I'm more handsome, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's cute. I'm handsome. That's the difference, okay? Now, so I've been watching the Average Joe. We watched The Harder They Fall. And Wilson, you know, we talked about this, you know, about how cinematic this looks. It makes you feel like you're in the theater pretty much. The colors are bright. They're rich. They're plentiful. Lots of colors. This thing, you know, like in the spec sheets, they have all these like billions of colors. I'm like, whatever, just show me what I need to see. But truly, I haven't counted them. Like, can you count to 1 billion? I mean, I'm not going to see it go like this, but there's a lot of freaking colors. Like, I'm seeing all of them. My favorites are sunsets or scenes like on, I keep forgetting, I'm losing my words. The Harder They Fall, like on scenes like on Harder They Fall, you see these amber hues with sunsets or sunrises, these amber hues, and then they just kind of fade out. And you see every color in that spectrum from the sun all the way to where the horizon meets the land. So the colors, you're there. Dark content. It's not crushed. It actually comes out nice and crispy when you get dark content. The faces pop out of the shadows like they're supposed to, and they don't look like noisy or grainy or anything like that. And the motion. Motion is very important, especially when it comes to like upscaling 4K. This thing does it really, really well. Which brings me to something I really want to talk about in comparison to more expensive cinema, home cinema projectors, but we're going to save that to the end because I know I'm skipping around on my notes. Wilson, you got to keep me on task, man. You know I'll be all over the place. So we got to talk about gaming and audio. I just heard the speakers kick on for a minute and I had to turn them down a little bit. Wilson, what you think about these speakers, man?
It's not bad for a little box, you know, just
it is literally a little box with some speakers crammed in there.
Yeah, I don't think people realize just like how small this thing is up there.
Yeah. So I have a home AV system. I got a receiver and 9 speaker system. Okay, so I never really bothered to use those speakers, but it just so happens that my receiver blew. So I had to ship it off to Sony to get fixed. So I don't have a system right now. So I'm using the Hisense speakers that are built into the C1, and they sound good. There's actually subs in there, or a sub in there, I think. You don't get booming bass, okay? That thing is only so big, but you do get bass tones. You get low tones, and you get a full spectrum of sound from highs, mids, and lows, and it's well balanced. You got some different sound modes like theater or like sports and stuff like that. So toggle through those if you don't connect it to a sound system. You can also connect via Bluetooth if you want to, but that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about gaming. I don't do much gaming on the projector anymore because I just find it better on a TV because it's a smaller image. So I game on a 65 or 75 inch TV now. Let me preface this with I'm not a pro gamer, okay? I suck at literally every game I play. I die a lot, okay? So I'm not the gamer who's looking for like latency. I don't really see any latency, but I'm pretty sure some nitpicky gamer dude is gonna say there's not a latency there. No, it has a low latency mode that it automatically kicks into. That way you don't notice and you can enjoy your ultimate massive gaming experience. And to boot, you get all those colors, all that contrast that I was just talking about on the same screen built into that projector. So that's pretty clutch. But now I want to get into like, I'm gonna start up some controversy. I'm gonna upset some people, Wilson, like especially the purists, because this is by far the best projector I've had on this channel and in my house that is a lifestyle projector. The absolute best projector I've had in this house was the Sony WX5000, I think it is called. You remember that one? The cinema projector that cost like $6 grand.
That huge one, yeah.
To me, most beautiful picture I've ever seen in my house. It was absolutely stunning and gorgeous, cinematic. It really felt like I wasn't even at home. I was literally at the movies because I'm a pixel peeper. And that thing, those $6,000 plus projectors, that's where these projectors start out because they are true 4K. True 4K versus pixel shift 4K. Look up pixel shift once you get done watching this video. It's a different way that 4K is produced. And that's what these lifestyle smaller projectors do. But this one is a very reasonable price. And when you contrast that to a $6,000 projector, the average person probably ain't even gonna know the difference. Wilson, can you see the difference?
From between those two, no. Honestly,
See,
no.
Wilson don't know. Look, I told you, I'm a snob, I'm a pixel peeper. I can see the difference when it comes to upscaling and just how the picture is produced. Some of the contrast and stuff, I can see a difference. But it ain't that far. Like, oh man, I know I'm upsetting some people, hurting some people's feelings, but man, these things are freaking close. And Hisense C1 is probably by far the closest I've had to being, and that's a big jump, dude. I think this thing retails for like $1,800 or something like that. I think I checked the price in the description box to see what the latest pricing is, but this thing is probably less than $2,000, right? Probably closer to $1,000. I don't know. And we're contrasting that to a $6,000 and beyond home cinema projector. That's how much I like this thing, and that's how good I think the picture quality is. I think it's amazing. I really dig this projector, so I just wanted to share my experience over the last it's been almost 8 months now with you guys, and just let you know how wonderful it is. Hey man, I really did this projector, so I just felt like sharing my experience over the last 8 months with you guys. So thanks for coming by and hanging out, and y'all keep being good to each other, and I'll see you when I see you.